Okay. I think I should be good. We'll see. Hello. All right. Yes, doing leatherworking today. Um, yeah, I don't know if I tried to fix some stuff. I think my audio is probably still delayed, assuming you can hear any audio at all. Um, because I don't know. I'm trying different stuff. I'm using my headphones today, so I don't know if they're capturing anything. um, yeah, I feel like that's definitely delayed. It's delayed on my end, so I'm assuming it's delayed for everybody else by like, I don't know, probably 3-4 seconds. Yeah. So I don't really know how to fix that yet. I think I don't know if it's an audio problem or a video problem. Um, it's a little annoying, but I don't use OBS. I am on Streamlabs, but I don't know, maybe I should install that. Yeah, I'm pretty new to better streaming app than Streamlabs. Okay, I think I might try that then. This is only like my third stream, so I am just trying a bunch of stuff, and I will gladly uh, take any advice because I don't really know what I'm doing. So, um, okay, cool. Yeah, because I've noticed with Streamlabs, like it's okay, but I'm having a hard time like navigating the the app, I guess, and trying to figure out everything. Like it took me a hot minute to even figure out how to disable the notification. Like when people would chat, it would do a little ding, because I didn't realize that it was super loud, and so I was initially just going to turn it down, and then I'm like, I think I'm just going to completely turn it off because it's kind of annoying. Um, so at least I have that. Just inserting URL. Okay, yeah, I think I'll try that then for next week. I'm not, yeah, sold on anything yet, so I'm totally up to trying stuff, trying different things out. Um, so is that something? I don't know, because I'm also using my phone for my camera at the moment, so I have Streamlabs on my phone, I guess, to somehow hook that up. So I don't know if I can do that with OBS, but um, hello, yeah, welcome. Glad to see some people already in here. Um, yeah, I'm changing it up today. I'm doing some leather working. Um, okay, OBS isn't mobile. Okay, I'll have to. I do want to try to get a better camera. Not that my phone camera is like terrible or anything, but I think maybe that's some of the delay issue, or maybe not. Um, but yeah, it definitely drains my phone battery. Like I have my phone plugged in the whole time, and my last stream I had, even though I had my phone plugged in, I didn't realize, but I'm glad I ended stream unaided because I was at like 6% when I got off, and I was like, oh, I was gonna have to end whether I wanted to or not anyway. So, um, yeah, I do want to try to get a better camera, and maybe eventually one day like a little face cam or something. But um, yeah, because I don't mind having my face on here. I just can't necessarily do both, show the leather working or the taxidermy or whatever, and my mug. So, um, yeah, I figured I'd bust out some leather working. I've done taxidermy for my past two streams, and it's gone pretty good. But I also don't want to burn myself out on taxidermy. And it's been a while since I've done any leatherworking, so I kind of want to get back into it. And I mean, it's the name of my channel, Vulture Leatherworking. I've got to do some leatherworking at some point. Um, so I'm going to make a little like leather glasses case for my sunglasses, so I can just throw them in my purse and not worry about them getting all scratched up and whatever. Not that these are expensive sunglasses, but you know, um, it's still nice to try to keep them decent. So the pattern I'm using I got from this lovely book here. Um, I wish I could make a full set of leather armor. That would be quite a bit of leather and quite a bit of time, but you know, people have done it before, and maybe one day. But I'm using this book. It's got, geez, it's got a lot of pretty simple leather, like wallets, purses, things like that. And it's nice because there's a whole sheet in the back here that has all of the like actual templates that you need. So that itself is worth it to me. Um, yeah, I've made coin pouches before too with this. I actually can show you some of the ones I've made from this book. I have made my purse also, not from this book, but I got a pattern off of Etsy that I used for my purse. But um, for the belt, yeah, no, it's kind of whenever up to you. You know, whenever you're ready for a belt. I was kind of looking into, um, I think like different alternatives for belt buckles, like the carbon fiber belt buckles and stuff, and it looks like they do make them. Or I was even kind of thinking of something like a, I don't know, maybe some sort of internal like strong magnet or something. I don't know, but I was still thinking of different non-metal alternatives. But um, yeah, whenever you're ready for it, here I am. But yeah, I guess there's different. If you guys do ever want anything out of leather, um, I have all of my stuff is all the same username, the Vulture Leatherworking, and so same as the channel, spelled the same and everything for like Instagram, Facebook. I even have a Gmail with that. So whatever way you wanna, anybody wants to get in contact with me about stuff. Um, but oh, cool, thank you. Yeah, I used to be pretty good about posting on Instagram, and then I took a break for the holidays and did not get back to it. So I yeah, and then I just started trying to do. Oh, my cat's dry feeder went off, so I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but um, yeah, you can buy a coin pouch from me. So I have the ones that I made from this book. Here's my little coin pouch that I made. What's the delay? Stops. There we go. And I have a little magnetic closure. I keep all my little coins in here. These are my ones from Europe when I went to Europe. Um, but yeah, and then I need to take the European one out, but and this one I have with like a more traditional snap that I've had for quite some time. But I'm a big pressed penny person, um, so I keep quarters and pennies on me all the time in case I come across a pressed penny machine. But the big drawstring coin pouches, kind of like the big, like almost like a dice bag almost. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Because I've never made one of those, but I definitely can do one. Um, I'm up for it. It shouldn't be too, yeah, something like that shouldn't be too difficult. Um, and yeah, I've made my wallet also. I did a little tooling on this one. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. There's like a dude and a horse and some fencing and flowers and stuff. Yeah, and then I did make this purse from this book. That was my first like big project that I ever did. And here she is. Oh, she's a little rough around the edges, but I love her. She worked fantastic. Um, she's simple. She did what she needed to do. She holded my stuff. Um, got fancy and did a little braided strap and everything. But I realized that I carried too much stuff. I needed a bigger purse, so I made my other one. But otherwise, this did me great, and it was a good pattern and everything, and still holding up. And yeah, I was like really proud. This is my first like kind of big project that I ever did. So I'm still happy with this, to be honest. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna be making the eyeglasses case that's in here. Let's see if I can find what it's supposed to look like. I do a little, I've made this one before. It's the wallet. A lot of the designs are fairly similar in here. But yeah, the eyeglasses case, oh, I bookmarked it for this specific reason. I didn't pay attention to my bookmark. But this is the eyeglasses case I'm going to be making. She does like the holes in the front with kind of the, I don't know what you call them, not pins or buttons, but where you just push the metal part through the hole in the case. But I'm just going to be using the magnetic snaps like I had on my coin purse, because I just prefer that. So yeah, since I've already made this before, I've already traced out the stencil that she has back here, and traced it out onto some cardboard because it just holds up a bit better. Maybe looks a little janky, but it works. So I have my two pieces, and yeah, labeled them because I always forget what. I have multiple of these, and I know people do like the acrylic templates and stuff like that, but I don't know. Cardboard's working for me for the moment, so I'm using. So yeah, I've been doing leatherworking for, I think I'm going on 6 years this year. I think I started like late 2021, but it's been good. It's definitely like a learning curve for leather, but it's not bad. So I have a full side of leather here, so it's a big roll. You can get different cuts of leather, so I usually just go for a full side, just so that I can do multiple projects without having to go back and buy more leather. And some people, they just get like, I guess if you look at like the back of the cow, like if you just go down the spine and have one half of it, that would be a side, so this is what I have. And then some people will get like full shoulders, or like a half shoulder, or like, it just depends on what they want to use the leather for, because I think certain parts of the animal are better for certain projects, or like have different thicknesses or durabilities. But I have a full side here. It's not like super expensive, high quality leather. I tend to just go for some pretty basic leather. I don't mind if there's little cuts or dings or scrapes in it, or, you know, anything like that. I kind of like that and prefer that, actually. Kind of, I guess, goes along with the taxidermy in that, I don't know, like this was a living animal at some point. Yes, this is cowhide. I am a big believer in, I don't know, leather, I guess, which is weird to say, but there's a lot of people that are very against leather, and I don't see why. Yeah, so I have a leather store. I live in San Diego, and there's a leather store, Tandy, that's here. Yeah, I believe in using leather and using, bags and stuff. I don't like the fake leather or like the vegan leather or pleather. People want to try to say that it's, I don't know, I guess animal abuse or more environmentally friendly or something, but I think it's kind of the opposite. Like, it's literally plastic, and it's gonna fall apart within, what, 2 months of you using it, if that. And this, yes, it's made out of animal, but it's gonna last you, probably your whole life, if not longer, if you take care of it. So I'm like, I believe in leather. I like getting the kind of not super perfect hides. It still shows that this was like an animal at some point. It had a little cow life, ran around, did its little cow things, got scraped up, whatever. And I don't want to like detract from that. So yeah, I'm definitely not a perfectionist, like leather snob when it comes to the quality of my leather. If there's like a random little hole in it or something, it is what it is. Like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if we can use the hide and make something useful out of it, like that's great. So love leather. Yeah. So yeah, I have this whole roll. I think actually this roll, if I remember right, has a brand on it. Um, so okay. See, and then that notification comes up, and I need to figure out how to. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm figuring things out slowly on stream. So, um, yeah, exactly. Using as many parts is is great, and I'm not going to turn down a side of leather because it's not this like perfect, immaculate piece of leather. I get leather's expensive, but um, I don't know, like I just don't see wasting this because it's not immaculate. I think there's a brand on this one which some people would just like cry about and be like, "Oh, I have a brand on my piece of leather and it ruined it or whatever." But I'm actually really excited. I'm just like saving the brand for something. I'm trying to figure out what, but I want to like kind of feature it on something. Um, and yeah, I just think that's kind of. Let me see if it's on here. Can I find the brand? Is it on this side? I don't remember. Maybe it's on a different hide. I have a couple different rolls of leather of different thicknesses and stuff. So I think it might be on the thicker one. But anyway, yeah, I do have a brand on one of my hides that I was really excited about. But um, yeah, exactly. I like. I think I might have said this on my taxidermy stream, but like one of my goals one day is to like hunt an animal myself, like say a deer or an elk or something, and then um, skin it, like eat the meat, do whatever, but then also like take the hide and then like make something out of it, whether it's, a bag or, you know, well, you have a whole hide, so you can do multiple things with it, but um, that'd be kind of my goal is to like, yeah, skin it and then like even tan it from start to finish and um, like just get something out of it, and I don't know. That'd be really cool. I'm like almost there, I've already skinned stuff and I'm making stuff out of leather, so I just got to do the in-between parts of the tanning, um, which I don't know. Tanning has always been like a mystery to me, but I know there's a lot of different methods to it, but it still kind of scares me. So yeah, I'm just using this. I think I'm using it for leather, and I think other people use it for leather, but I think people tend to use it for fabric and sewing. But it cuts through leather, at least the thinner stuff, really well. So um, that's what I'm using, and I don't think they're very expensive. Because that's another thing with leatherworking is even just the tools can get kind of pricey. Because you need like a lot of different weird little specialized tools and whatnot. But well, I guess not need, but it makes your life easier. And I do have a whole bag, like little scrap pieces that I keep. Yeah, just because you never know, I might just need like some tiny little piece, and I don't want to have to cut into a big side of leather if I don't have to. If I have a little piece that would already do the job. Did I cut all the sides? No, I didn't. Okay, so I tend to do somewhat of like a rough cut off the side just to get it, just to free it from its side prison. And then I do a little more detailed once it's out by itself. Oh my gosh. I always hate the corners. The corners are so difficult. I try to keep my cuts as like clean as possible, but it doesn't happen all the time. Okay, now I can get my side out of here. So this is a veg tan leather, so that's just short for vegetable tan. It's really great and like a very versatile tan of leather. So I think essentially they make like I think I'll make a Discord for like live notifications and stuff. What do you I guess mean by that? Oh, Discord. Yeah. I could. I never thought about that. Not a bad idea. I'm already on Discord, so I don't see why I couldn't make like a leatherworking one and do that. So I might do that after I get off stream today. It's not a bad idea. Putting this in my little scrap pile. Yeah, making a little leather eyeglasses case. And added this book here, and this is gonna be hopefully somewhat the end result. And yeah, so I roughly cut out my pieces. Let's see what we got here. Nope, I did that sideways. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a veg tan leather, so you could do a lot of stuff with it. You can dye this, you can do the different tooling, like I showed my wallet earlier, and I have a bunch of the patterns and the carvings and stuff in there. So you can do that on the veg tan leather. It'll take designs and stuff and dyes and whatever really well. There's other types of leather, like the chrome tan leather, which is like more what my purse is made out of, it's really soft and nice, but you can't really tool into it, you can't stamp anything into it, and I don't think you can really dye it, but it's good for, like I really like making my bag out of it and things because it feels nice. So different leathers for different uses, but I do like veg tan a lot just because you can do so much with it, and I do like carving little designs and stuff into my projects. I'm like debating whether or not I'm going to do anything on this one or not. We'll see, because it shouldn't take me too long to make. I was thinking about making 2 of them. One for me, one for my husband, because we both need cases for our glasses. But I'm just gonna work on this one, see how far I get. I should be able to finish it on stream, no problem, but, Let's see. Oh, I should have got my ruler out. I have a big tool chest next to my desk with all my leatherworking stuff, and I tried to get all my stuff out beforehand, but there's always tools I forget to get out. There we go. I love showing off my little baby ruler also, because it's so little. Okay. So, yeah, I kind of translated from the pattern in the book, all the little pieces that I need for, I guess, my cardboard pattern, like where things should line up. So, like this piece will line up here, or I think it's the other way around, will line up here, so it'll kind of like, this will kind of fold around, and then I'll fold these edges in and like connect them here, and then do the lid, and that should be the glasses case, roughly. So yeah, now to get there. So yeah, I don't see, there's not many little scuffs or anything on this one, but that's okay. Let's see. I love this cutting mat that I have. I have used and abused it, as you can tell. Most of this down here is like leather dye, but and some paint or whatever. But it has definitely come in handy. I think I'm just gonna leave this piece as is, more or less. Maybe straighten out some of those sides. Looks fairly okay. Yeah, the one bad thing about the cardboard is, like, if I'm not careful, I can just kind of like cut through the cardboard and mess up my template. So that's why the different materials like the acrylic and stuff is nice, but I'm working with what I got. yeah, I was like trying to keep this mat all nice and everything, and then I just started getting leather dye on it. I'm like, well, I can still read the numbers. It's okay. It's fine. It mostly rubs off. It just kind of stains the mat, so. Okay. I'm trying to remember. It's funny, I've made this case before, but it's been a minute, and I always forget, like, the order of operations to make this. Which, in leatherworking, is kind of important sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. Um, like, the order of operations for stuff, because you can definitely make things a lot easier or harder depending on which order you do things in. Like, if you put stuff together first and then you're like, oh, I have to put this snap in, but this thing's already like a 3D object that I can't like get under my press now. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it will later when I start doing stuff. Where is the instructions for this thing? Jesus. I should have prepped better. Okay, glasses case. Does it say? Okay, 78. I'm way past page 78. Jesus. I went right past it. Okay. Oh, I forgot a piece. Maybe I have a scrap that's small enough that I can cut out because I don't feel like cutting this little. Because on the inside of the glasses case, there's like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a little loop that goes in the bottom of it that your glasses can sit on and I guess support them. Can you speak now? What's happening? Yeah, I tried to put the chat up on the video too. Because again, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then I was going through and making like a highlight video for last week and realized that the chat um, wasn't on screen, and so I was reading the chat and then I would respond to it, but if you're just watching the video with no context, like you have no idea what I'm responding to, so I was like, okay, I should probably figure out how to put this on the screen. Oh yeah, I hate like two-factor authentication and stuff. Like I get why apps do it and stuff, but it's just really frustrating. Okay. I'm getting distracted. What am I doing? Okay. I have to like unfold this whole thing. Where is the other part of the eyeglass case? Here we go. I just want to trace part of this on there because just to see where it lines up so that I have it all nice and aligned. Did that even translate through? Yeah, good enough for me. I'll throw that over there. I realize I've never had people watch me do leatherworking, and I'm getting all like, I'm not stressed out, but I'm like, it's like the performance anxiety, I guess. I'm like, they're gonna think I don't know what I'm doing. Oh God. Okay, I think this is the right way around. I don't get why these sides are different. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Right? I'm thinking about this too hard. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. Yeah, that's very valid. Um, yeah, I didn't think about that. That I could just say whatever, and most people don't do leather crafting, so it doesn't matter. um, okay, so yeah, I have to kind of put this part and attach it to um, what's going to be kind of more or less the internals of the thing. Um, so I'm going to get this out of the way because you guys don't need to see the instructions. I do. And the really nice thing about this book and a lot of the patterns in it is that a lot of them, like the little coin purse or like the eyeglasses case and stuff, it's for the most part a lot of the same general design and general like process, but like this is essentially like a like wider version of like the coin purse. Um, or they have like a little pencil case or things like that. It's just nice because it's mostly the same process and design, so I don't have to like figure out multiple things all the time. So I have this wonderful press here. Before I had this press, I would have to hammer everything. So if I wanted to make a hole or make stitching holes or anything of that nature, I'd have to just manually do it with a hammer, and which is fine, it worked, but um, it's also loud. And sometimes I don't feel motivated to make something out of leather unless it's like, 9 p.m. or something, and live in a condo, I have neighbors, I also have cats, and live with my husband, so um, try to be a little considerate of other people sleeping. So yeah, my husband got me this press thing, and it has helped immensely, especially when I'm trying to make holes through multiple layers of leather or through some thicker stuff. I hated hammering through it, and it just wouldn't line up or whatever, and this thing has saved me a lot, and it, I think, is saving everybody else a headache, so in terms of just not hearing me hammer for like 3 hours straight. So um, this thing's got a metal plate with odd measurements on here, but I use this because I have my punches and things that if I just did it straight on the metal, it would damage the tips of my punches or my, like, what do you call it? The stitching prongs. So I have all these different stitching prongs here. So they all have different, like, number of teeth or different widths in between their teeth. So you can kind of choose how far apart you want your stitching. And also if you're just doing like long stretches of stitching, you can do like multiple, like 5, 6 holes at a time. Because I have ones that are also just a single hole or like 2 or 3 holes, so very versatile. And I can just exchange these off of the handle, and then I can put them in here. Awesome. And then I can just pick out which head I want and put it in there and start punching holes. So I'm trying to decide how far apart I want my holes to be on this thing. So I'm going to be stitching, lining these two pieces up kind of roughly, and I'm going to be stitching kind of around this little border here, and should be good. Yeah, okay, I think I should be fine with that, because I'm trying to think of my order of operations here too, because eventually, this is going to be the kind of the front of the glasses pouch, and so I'm going to have my snaps here, so I'm going to have like the whole, I guess like the receiving end of the snap on the front here, and then this top part will come around and snap onto this, and I'm like just kind of debating if I want the hole to be just through this top layer and sandwiched in between, or if I want to do it through both. I'll just do it through both. This is not a thick leather, and the backs of my snaps are pretty, so I think I'll just do it through both because I don't mind seeing the backs of those, and I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. So, and then I have this cool tape. It's like a double-sided tape that I can just use to kind of keep my pieces together and like lined up while I'm, like, what do you call it? While I'm punching all the holes. Because I've had that happen where they get misaligned and then not having a good time. I was also debating if I wanted to dye this one, because if I'm going to dye it, I should dye it before I put anything together, but I think I'm going to leave this natural veg tan, and it'll, with time and age, it'll become all nice and worn. I think, yeah, I think this one is one of my, it wasn't one of my first coin pouches, but it was early on. And this is, I don't think I dyed this one, as far as I remember. So this will eventually turn to this nice, like, worn, well-loved color, and I like that. So I think I'm just gonna leave this one undyed. I'll leave this one for myself, and I don't know, maybe I'll dye, if I make the other one, I'll dye my husband's. We'll see. Okay, oh yeah, I have to decide how far apart I want my stitches to be. I usually go for, I have 3 different widths, I guess. So I have like the really far apart, I think that's the mid-ground, and then pretty close together. I know there's probably measurements that go along with these, but I don't remember them, and I just go based on what looks nice. I usually just go for the mid-ground one here. I don't think I've ever really used the far apart one before, and I've used the really close ones together before, but it also depends on what thread I'm using. I have some thicker thread, and I'm like, if they're that close together, I don't see the point of them being, I don't know, that close together if I'm using thread that's that thick. And then I have this nifty tool here that I use to help try to keep my stitching lines straight, because if I just put this, the teeth here, which I probably should do that right now so I don't forget which one I want to use. I just put these in here and just try to start punching holes, I more than likely will start wandering and I won't have a very straight line. So I use this and kind of just figure out how far in I want my stitches to be. I think that's really good, and then I kind of just do that, and it makes a little guideline for me so that I can kind of hopefully keep my stuff straight. I don't even know if that's too faint to show up on camera or not. Maybe you can see it. Who knows? Probably not. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, let's get to me punching some holes. So I usually, oh, this is very sideways, okay. Let's get in a little closer, shall we? Okay. I usually like press kind of light and see where my stitches are going to end up, and then if they're landing on the line like I want, then I full send it. Usually it sticks a bit, and they leave like diamond shaped little holes in there, and ideally, yeah, that should have gone all the way through both layers. So there's been many a time where, especially before I had this press, and I was just hammering and I was trying to go through like multiple layers of leather at a time, and I did not get all the way through all the layers, and then I'm using my needle to try to sew them together, and I'm struggling and I'm hurting my fingers, and so this has definitely been nice. So yeah, and then to keep the spacing the same, I've been putting the first like tine, I guess, of my stitching fork into the last hole that I just did, and then I press kind of light, make sure everything's lined up where I want it to be. I can see the 3 dots of the other like teeth, I guess, and then I line that up again. So then I punch 4 new holes, and they're all hopefully the same distance apart from each other. I don't know why that one didn't go all the way through. Oh, I think I didn't tighten this up all the way, so it moved up. I have my Allen key to move this up and down on the pole, permanently attached. Well, I guess not permanently, it's just a little leather leash on it, but I have it attached physically to the actual press because I will constantly set this thing down and get it lost on my desk, and I'll spend most of my time just searching for it. Okay, what is happening here? I get what the problem is. I don't know why this is happening. I'm like pressing down on it, and then instead of punching through the leather, it is like moving the whole thing up. Weird. Maybe I'll try just another set of holes. What is going on with my press right now? I was singing your praises, press. Come on. Yeah, see, like it moved it up because I had this moved down pretty low where I was just able to get the leather underneath, and it like moved up. Alright, well now I moved it down too low so I can't get the leather underneath. Okay, maybe I have to just like really tighten this down. Come on, bud. There we go. That's what I like to see. I knew you could do it. Yeah, crunch through the leather. Okay, cool. Glad I figured that out, because that was... Otherwise I'd have to bust out the hammer, and I don't think that would be very fun to hear on stream, so... Alright, lining stuff up. We do... You can get one more set of 4 in there. Yes. Perfect. And then... So I have this mostly around the edge now. I do have a little bit here down at the bottom that I'm like debating if I want to squeeze one more hole in there or not, but I think I might leave it. Well, I think I can get one more in there. That's another reason I just don't like the super close together ones, because I feel like, I don't know, if you get too close to the edge or something, you can, when you're stitching, you kind of end up just more or less ripping through the side there, but I think I'll get one more right in there. Right there. Okay. I think this side had a little more room.